But first, I want to start off with this whole debacle here. She's the biggest artist in the world. She battled the world's largest music retailer. She got the job done in 17 hours, but it really has sparked quite a discussion here about the music industry and its shift to streaming. In your opinion, who do you think really won here?
Well, I actually think it's the artists that have won here. Taylor has certainly highlighted the need for creative industries to have the same fair practices, standards and guidelines as more regulated industries such as finance, telcos, transport.
But, in the end, of course, it was a big victory for the indie artist, and that was something that Taylor really cared about. But really, what's won is it really just a status quo? Because what Apple is doing now is basically the same thing that other streaming services have done, just like the likes of Spotify and Pandora.
Yeah, I certainly understand that. But, I mean, streaming has the opportunity to become a very strong monetization opportunity for all the creative artists involved, in a wider way than just, say, the publishers and the labels, who also get a huge chunk of the pie. And I think that what we need to do is bring everybody into the room and get more of an agreement, so we don't have another situation where someone like Taylor Swift has to go into battle for independent artists, where there is more of an understanding of the value in the creative process and what they're producing, so that they're appreciated anyway.
That's right. And, when it comes to those discussions, though, I think a lot of artists still feel like this free streaming service is the big sticking point here, because they say it devalues music, and they don't get fairly compensated for this. Piracy, of course, a huge issue here in Asia. What else, will we see that digital really, could they be saving the industry here?
Certainly. Look, I think we need to reframe free content. Free content on these streaming platforms isn't free. It is subsidised by advertisers. And I think that it comes down to the consumer and the experience that they want. If they want to be able to listen to music and not have to pay a monthly fee, then the flip side of that, the value exchange, is that they get advertisements within their experience. What we need to do is then be able to, they have the opportunity to close the loop and upgrade to more of a premium service so that their experience isn't so disrupted.
Sure. Do you think this is really going to impact the launch of Apple Music in any way? I mean, they still have hundreds of millions of credit cards to their advantage. And I think I want to quote the research firm Music Watch, saying to think one artist or one album will make or break a service is frankly insane. Do they have a point here?
Look, I think that I would say yes and no. I would say yes in the fact that, look, labels are not charities, they're businesses. And the most popular artists do create and generate a ton of revenue. But I would say no in the fact that there are so many other genres other than just popular music that will be able to contribute to the to the success of platforms such as Apple Music.